Gemini, welcome to your reading today. Gemini and pigeon people, because they've been all around me. I've been doing some daily readings today that go out on the Shorts channel. Here you are as your internal world. Wonderful. The six of wands. Yeah, and the pigeons, they add a lot of soundtrack. They sometimes sort of get involved. They've been waking up, or maybe I was annoying them by waking them up, with the hangman crossing you. So that's very interesting energy. I love that. Let's put these little cards down here. And at the basis of your reading, church bells going now. Ace of Cups, lovely. Let's put that there. Actually, no, move this along up here and then it can go there. And something from the recent past. Five of Pentacles. That's interesting and nice that it's in the past. And in your potential outcome, we've got the Tower, the Six of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. Interesting. Looking backwards to this experience of lack. And coming up in the near future, Judgment and the King of Pentacles. And your attitude. The Page of Cups. Lovely. Your environment. Your environment. Wow, lovely. The Four of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. That's a lovely, solid space to come from. Your hopes and fears. Your hopes and fears. Three cards again. We've got the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Four of Wands. Great. Moving safely to somewhere more stable and celebratory. And the outcome. Knight of Wands, gorgeous. A lot of energy coming at the end. Well, so let's just dive straight in. We have got quite a few majors. At the bottom of the reading, we've got the Ace of Cups, which tells me we're talking about how you give or receive your love and a new start in that area somehow. Here we are with you in your internal world, appreciating something about yourself with the Six of Wands. I think you appreciate some trial or error trial or tribulation that you've been through recently, and how you've done quite well in it. And then how that makes you act on the outside with this hangman is, it's changing your perspective. You're in a point of meditation like Odin, lying, hanging there for several days to try and gain enlightenment. I think you're buoyed up by this new success. You're thinking, I can do this. I can change my perspective. I must change my perspective. It's almost like the carrot, not the stick, has got you going. I think because you're feeling self-appreciative, you're able to generate more energy for more change. You're not just resting on your laurels with that laurel that we see there. And so, as I said, at the basis of the reading, what you love, what you give and receive in love, and a new start in love. I think this is what you're looking for. Something that is more sustaining, certainly than what's happened in the near future with the Five of Pentacles, where you felt very left out from your community, from what you need. It's a card of great lack and need, and I'm glad it's in your past. Now, as a potential outcome, we have the Tower, the Six of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. It says that what was built on the wrong foundations, you learn the lessons of. You get out of those choppy waters with the Six of Swords and take all of those swords of knowledge to a calmer place. And then you're in the position of the Knight of Cups, being able to get back into your heart, which is what we know you really want, and the action of the heart, the offers of the heart. So it's still in the potential outcome. We are still in the process of understanding the wrong foundations that have brought all of this revelation and ability to understand from the hangman. Interesting. And then going on into your near future, we've got the Judgment and the King of Pentacles, an epiphany that leads to some sort of security of the King of Pentacles, some sort of caretaking, stable energy that actually is much more sustaining, but there is an epiphany with it. You know, this shows the hangman bearing fruit, really. You're starting to get into your understanding now. With your attitude, the Page of Cups, you are full of imagination and whimsy, and you want and love. There's so many of these cups to be offered around your reading. So there is something very young and beautiful about your energy that really wants to share and dive in with this imaginative, slightly romanticized version of love we see here. But it's a good aim. You know, your heart is waking up again after all this need. In your environment, a bit like this lovely King of Pentacles, I think he's informing it that coming up in your near future, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. It's an incredibly nurturing environment. I don't know whether your home has become very sustaining, whether this King of Pentacles is at work and providing you with this kind of security, because really this is steady, this is really abundant, this is appreciative again of yourself, like the Six of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles. It's a very sort of solid, stable, because of the Pentacles, nurturing environment, particularly with the Four of Swords, where we see you resting and recalibrating and getting into a kind of healed state, a bit like the Hangman. It's kind of minor to that sort of energy. And then in your hopes and fears, we've got the Four of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. So it sort of says to me, you want to get onto higher ground and fight off all of these very sort of yangy, competitive, slightly difficult energies, and walk away from what you've loved and start doing it in a different way. And this is what you've loved, the cups. This is the very key to your hopes and fears here, is to reinvent how you deal with love energy, and then make a beautiful marriage, make a beautiful partnership with that love. Get into a celebratory space where everything is balanced and whole, but you're still aware that you need to get up on higher ground, that you're still metabolizing some of this Tower and this Five of Pentacles. And then here in your outcome, we have the wonderful Knight of Wands. There's a lot of energy suddenly released. We're off with his kind of gusto, looking for solutions, very libidinous, very full of passion. So it tells me there's a renewal of energy. It's not the cup you were looking for, but don't worry, let's cap this. It doesn't mean they're not coming. So I'm going to pull, leave those in there, my little tower of cards here. I'm going to pull you an Enchanted Oracle card first. Let's go back there. The Five of Spells. So it's very like the Knight of Wands energy. This is jumping in to compete. It's an unleashing of energy. So maybe this is an important part of your step, your process, is that we need to get you back into life again, back into wanting to play. Here we see some young magicians practicing their spells with great gusto, no malice, but they are being competitive. So, and that's quite similar to the Knight of Wands energy. So I wonder whether first one of the things you need to attend to is your physical energy. And oh wow, wonderful. Friendly competition, striving for excellence, healthy rivalry, learning from mistakes. Well, that's going to be key, isn't it? A few students from the wizarding school are out to work on their transformation skills. Says how funny it is. They're all spurring each other on to greater glory. With practice, they'll soon move on to more challenging sorcery. Find ways to engage with your fellow wizards with playfulness and encouragement. Healthy competition. This isn't a fight, but it is about unleashing your energy. Maybe you felt so watery and sad and taken up by what's not worked that there is a need to get your energy back up. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's playing a board game. There was a bunch of cards there, so I just need one from the Shining Tribe. Oh, two lovely pigeons have just arrived in unison, and they're looking right at me. They're on the roof next door. They sort of came in like synchronized dancers, so I think that's a lovely affirmation of this partnership and love that you're looking to offer. It wants to give us lots. Ten of Stones, which is great stability. The Magician and the two of Birds. Those two birds just arrived and they're still looking at me. Okay, that's the one we're reading. How amazing. Two birds. I love how the world works. They came flying in to look at their card and now they're listening to it. They're all interested. They're like, yeah, tell us about ourselves. So the Two of Birds. I love that. Antagonism, a truce of apology that denies the anger that still remains. Setting yourself above your emotions. Two people who are bound together despite their insistence that they've moved on. So maybe this is what the Five of Wands is about. Maybe you're still in a conflict in some sort of relationship. Maybe you're trying to yeah, because we see you trying to move on with the Six of Swords. Do we have the Eight of Cups here? I thought we did. No. But I feel like maybe you're still engaged. Oh, there they go. Maybe you're still engaged in some sort of relationship that's been needing to have some work made to it. So it's not about an ending so much as it is about renegotiation. The image of this card is from a Chinese altarpiece of lacquered wood. It's basically the Two of Swords. The Ride of Ocean shows the woman blindfolded, not knowing what to do. Here we see two birds with their backs to each other who stand resolutely in this way, refusing to acknowledge the other's existence. Their elaborate, almost identical decorations symbolize the complexity and richness of their minds, as well as the fact that they are much more alike than either of them would like to admit. Their mental energy has gone into antagonism, and yet they cannot really escape each other. A snake winds around their legs, making it impossible for either of them to leave. It recalls the mysteries of the High Priestess and the Justice card as well. So snakes are deeply linked to the mythologies all around the world. Each of these birds thinks of himself apart from or superior to the other. The energy of their denied anger binds them together. If they acknowledged what holds them, they can begin to decide if the connection is in fact genuine or valuable, or whether they want to release it. So maybe you are at that kind of stage of a relationship where you're not sure. You're bound, but you're not sure if this is what you want to be going on with. I mean, we have got the Ten of Stones and the Magician. This suggests that you're able, let's just quickly read the précis of both of those, to make something good out of this situation. There's a lot of power in both of those cards, so don't be despondent. It might just be you need to be a little bit more punchy with all that energy of the Knight of Wands and the Five of Wands. Creativity, life-giving energy. This is the Magician, using your power to help others. Consciousness, action, connecting to the different levels of being. This card may signify a strong response to a spiritual or emotional crisis. It can be confirmation that the person is doing the right thing, or a recommendation to make such a response. So yeah, having a strong response and like all of that energy in a moment of crisis, I think that's very key here. You need to bring some energy to it and your agency. And in the Ten of Stones, wealth, both spiritual and material, going to the sources of good experience, finding great value in what life's given you, property, sharing your wealth and success, security, talks of the larger family. So it might be saying there is a family involved here. It might be asking you to look at what you do have that works within this system of love, family, or whatever it is, and then unleash some energy to it, on it, with it. You know what I'm saying? What am I saying? I'm sort of saying you have more power than I see you thinking initially. Now that you've gone into your meditation, you're actually able to have some insight and come bursting out and sort of affect some change that will bring this union into a happier space. So that's lovely. It's a powerful space. And what have we got here? Dream Traveller. Yeah, you've been doing some dream travelling with your Knight of Wands. Sorry, well, possibly with your Knight of Wands. What I was actually going to say was with your Hanged Man. And that is unleashing this new ability to defend. Maybe with the Seven of Wands, what you're hoping and fearing is to defend this union with energy, purification. Look into what's pure about this process. Look into the kind of heart of this union that we're talking about. It could be an inner union, of course. It could be something that you are in partnership with, what you want to give your love to. It's not a relationship, but look into what's pure about it. Fight for what's pure about it. Don't give in to the niggly bits of the story, and use all that energy. Now let's have one final card from the Divine Muses, that one. Spring, Spirit of Air. Look at her, she looks so happy. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I don't have to race with this. I was doing the quick readings, 159, and I'm only allowed, you only have 3 minutes, but now I can be more relaxed. 159, Spirit of Air, Spirits of Air, the Sylph. This card appears to stimulate creativity and inspiration. It's an expression of the Spirit of Air. Though it's invisible, we can feel its influence in the wind. It might be through storms. We can see it when the smoke rises and swells in the air, and when the clouds shapeshift in the sky. In Western mystical and magical traditions, it's linked with the cardinal direction east. The colour is yellow. It's spring, and the time of day is dawn, representing new beginnings and a time of and the seeds of ideas. It shows quick and active energy, which is like your Knight of Wands and your Five of Wands. Intellectual skills, social liveliness, emotional detachment, decisiveness, and curiosity for learning. So sort of detachment emotionally as well. That's interesting. Not getting pulled into the weeds of it. The Sylph of this mystical guardian is the tarot suit of swords. You might want to consider the mind, and which is the swords. The world of mental expression, communication, ideas, logic, truth, decisions, and detail. So the way you express yourself, being very clear and slightly detached from anything emotional here. Even though we're not talking about the cups, we want your decision, your communication to be quite not logical, but just clear and not too murky. Like, you know, when they say when you're in an altercation with someone, when you're describing your feelings to someone who's important, this makes me feel, not you have done. It's that kind of thing here. It's being clear with your communications. We, as witches or magicians, have tools that we can use in our personal practice to personify air. The smoke from a herb bundle, incense, feathers that can be fanned in the smoke, and our breath. It's essential to life. So this is prana, chi. It's pulled, when it's pulled, its elemental energy is of influence right now. How's your mind? How are your thoughts impacting your life? Are they positive or negative? There are too many causing you to feel overwhelmed? Take some time to calmly observe them, like the hangman, using your breath to slow them down. Light incense, watch the smoke swirl around in your air. Sit or lay quietly to see if you can quiet your thoughts. Focus on your life force with deep, even and full inhalations and exhalations. It's referring to you or someone you know who's an air sign, who has a lot of air in their chart, or it's about these qualities. So in the card, the prima ballerina Anna Pavlova represents the guardian of air. She's a sylph holding a glass marble, wearing wings that reflect her elemental spirit of the air. The photo captured in 1909, Les Sylphides. She appropriately shows her in a costume for the ballet Les Sylphides. She dances in the air, creating a magical breeze, and radiates outwards, helping to cleanse and uplift our thoughts. So I think that's a really beautiful ending. I know we're looking for our heart to be purified here, but maybe the way you think about things and communicate things is really important. So that's the takeaway. With all of this energy, you have the energy to grab hold of this situation and mold it into what you want. We've seen the magician here. We've seen all this competitive, forceful energy, and then communicate with peace, communicate clearly, and clear your thoughts. There's something very valuable here at the bottom of this reading. And you can rebuild the tower into something that's firm with that lovely Ten of Pentacles. And what was our beautiful card from the beautiful card from, oh yes, the Two of Birds. Yes, that's it. Those two birds that landed and wanted to hear their reading. And then in the card, do you remember they were looking in different directions? It feels like a tiff. It feels like you're not communicating well with someone that actually you probably really love, that you're quite bound to. You might not be looking at your part in the situation, or you might be communicating in the wrong way. In order to decide if you want to stay, if you want to build this firmer, or if you want to leave, or if you want to clear up this argument, communicate clearly and see your own part. See you again.